Hi there, I'm supposed to do a video for you about my artifact, cultural artifact, and I have chosen to do the guitar, specifically the acoustic guitar, but more generally the guitar in general. It could be electric guitar, 12-string guitar, acoustic electric guitar, but trying to specify it to an acoustic guitar, but I ended up having some generalities in my essay, but I think it is all typically relevant to its artifact and it being found in the culture and what it's done to the culture, what's it produced, and what have you. Um, so just to introduce it, the acoustic guitar is not a long lost instrument, a musical art form, but a very much popular centerpiece within a great majority of concerts, bands, solo musical productions. So we understand that the guitar and I'm thinking the acoustic guitar is, and electric guitar is just an instrument that is very popular in our culture today here in America and even abroad, across the world. And so I figured it would be a good opportunity to choose that. So a few aspects that how it's influenced culture economically. It has features that attest to what the culture wants, like kind of regarding it's an instrument that you can easily travel with. It's universally familiar. Most countries, most cultures know what a guitar is. Even in India, in the early days, they had used guitars for more like classical Indian music over in India. So most of the world and most cultures are familiarized with the guitar, or at least its cousins, the lyre, or even some might even call it like a harp or something. But nonetheless, a multi-stringed instrument with some type of acoustic bass to it that can, produce noise. But nonetheless, it has influenced the world in many ways, not just by products and goods and even services, but it's condoned a style, a specific design, a culture, and even I would say subcultures in a manner of like some people like pop music, some people like country music, and because those are, I don't want to say segregated genres, that it inevitably has like a subculture in it itself. Maybe so, I don't know. I thought it kind of was, because you typically see people that love country music or from like a southern states. Like I'm in Texas, there's a lot of country music here, and I'm in Austin though, so we have a plethora of music, but nonetheless you can kind of see like a subculture, an attitude, and a persona, even how people think. Like country music, played with a good acoustic guitar, slow melody or whatever. The kind of the culture behind that is, I don't know how you say it, just sorrowful or I don't know, just I don't really know country music, so I couldn't really specify exactly, but nonetheless we kind of get like, okay, there's punk music, there's folk music, there's that country, there's pop music, there's rap and things like that, and some use the acoustic guitar, some use electric guitars, and but they've all created some type of culture around it, so the acoustic guitar, I really feel, has really made an impact because it started out with the acoustic, not the electric. But so some of the products, let's see if I can find this. Some of the products that it has developed, anywhere from guitar memorabilia, different brands like Yamaha, Gibson, Ibanez, Marshall, Martin, um, in their types of designs and styles to acclimate to the cultural desire. You think of it this way: it's a supply and demand type of thing. So if there's a guitar out there, but there's a type of people that don't necessarily like the colors or the tones of the guitar design, the manufacturer is going to acclimate to that culture and what they want. So, one of the bigger manufacturers like Taylor and Gibson and Martin, they've produced a guitar called the Dreadnought, and it's a series of guitars, and it's a type of guitar and what woods they use. So material differences, that not only make the look different, but it sounds differently, and so that sound and that look is going to attest really to a specific people, specific culture, and so that's one aspect of what has been developed from the acoustic guitar and the guitar in general. Services, any kind of brand name coming out and to produce a product for the guitar picks, guitar straps, what is it? I'm sorry, cases, guitar cases, soft cases. Okay, you can say I don't know, a certain culture doesn't like rigid box-like containers, for the guitar, so they're going to get, they're not traveling far distances, and they're the ones that are handling their gear, so they're not having to get this heavy-duty box-like armor case, so that product is going to be made, so a soft case product will be made, but also there's a culture that enjoys a hard case, and the hard case is typically for people that are in bands and things like that and have built their life around the guitar because they make their money from guitar, and so they travel, and so they need a hard case. So a brand and a product like that is acclimated to that culture. So various things like that has come about. As far as like services, repair shops for guitars, manufacturers, obviously, other products, other services, like Guitar Center is a big one, at least here in the South. I don't know if they're nationwide, I'm sure they are, but, Guitar Center, Straight Music is, it's a store that doesn't necessarily produce products, but they're a depot. They sell these well-known products that the culture enjoys and likes to use. So there is products and services. I can't get into detail on all of them that the guitar has produced. This artifact is produced for the sake of the culture, and what it requires and what it wants. And nonetheless, it's developed a culture around it. You go into one of these stores and you don't see, like, typically, like, say, a businessman in a suit and tie. I'm not trying to rule them out or anything like that, but you don't typically go in. It's kind of like profiling. You go in, you see guys like, man, you look like you're in a band. You got long hair or you got tattoos or something. And so it develops a culture, and even the places where things are sold that guitars are involved in or have created, people are going to be there in that general vicinity, if that makes any sense. One thing that at least the American culture and any other culture that has really been developed through the guitar or the acoustic guitar, especially the acoustic guitar, because it doesn't it doesn't require electricity, is most popular. It's become the most popular instrument in the United States, is because it's the player's ability to play the instrument themselves, but also sing as well. So it's kind of like a one-man band kind of thing. And people enjoy that, especially in America, because it's individualistic type of mindset here, culture, and so people really enjoy that. And so that's even created much more of a culture because when people find out, okay, there's an instrument that I can play, I don't need to rely on anybody else. It's just me, and so I'm going to go and consume this and use it for myself. Um, Last thing is about the Christian. How can the Christians? Well, many times in the Bible, we see in Psalms, we see in Job, we see David in 1 Samuel. They're using some type of stringed instrument. Is it a guitar? No, but it's a former cousin, a lyre, however you want to pronounce it, a stringed instrument, that had an acoustic body in order to project noise, was used for various aspects of worship, just like with David and Saul. David would play the harp or the lyre to expel the demons or this evil spirits that were taunting Saul. And so even in Job it says that he tuned his guitar, his not guitar, his lyre for mourning, and in even another instrument, his pipe, probably a flute or something like that, for weeping. So Christians shouldn't shy away from using a guitar or really any other instrument for that matter, just because the world uses it. We are called to be worshipers, and we're created to create, and we've created an instrument to make a sweet noise to the Lord. And I think that so far we have already seen and we've already known that the guitar has played a big role in the Christian communities and the Christian culture, and it's been well adapted, and it's been used for the glory of God, not for wickedness or destruction. So that's my kind of wrap up. I went over a couple minutes, but I hope it's understood, my artifact and how it's changed the culture. Thanks.